Hey everybody, so Tati, I'm gonna put this video on two of my channels, both my Watachi Still Running Free and my Watachi Running Free 2, because I want it to go out on both those channels. Um, First thing I'm gonna say, folks, is that have you ever noticed something at your phone? And I know I've showed you these before that I had made these, and no matter how you drop them on the floor, they always come up with a point up. You know, you can sling them out your car, you do all kinds of things, but they will always come up, point up. Your phone is pretty much the same thing as that. If you don't, if you never really thought about it, you might not realize it. Have you ever wondered why, no matter which way your phone's laying, there's always a camera facing you? You can drop that phone on the ground. No matter what side it falls on, there's a camera facing you. It's just like one of those, folks. It's a weapon. I know you guys don't want to hear nothing about that shit. Hell, you guys, I can prove to you that the vacuum of space cannot exist above our pressurized sky. You guys call it an atmosphere, so that you keep that ball going in your head. But I can prove that there's no way our pressurized atmosphere can be next to a vacuum of space using thermodynamics, the second law of thermodynamics and entropy. You guys don't want to hear about that shit. I could do a video on that. You don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear that I can prove that the earth isn't a ball shape. You don't want to hear about it, and I can use geometry to do that. A ball is a geometric shape. A geometric shape has a geometric edge that can be measured and will be in the same place every time you look at it. You don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about how I can prove viruses don't even exist unless they stick a needle in you, or this new thing they got now. Oh, you don't have to worry about taking a needle, folks. If that's all you're worried about, we got this new thing now. All you have to do is we release the inhalant up your nose and you breathe it in. So if they can do that, all they have to do is release it into the sky with their chemtrails, folks. You guys don't want to hear about none of that shit. That's the truth. That's depressing. It ain't worth hearing about that. So I can take these off and just go back to. I just tell stories about my life. Hell, now I can't see a damn thing. Everything's so fuzzy after taking them glasses off. But I'm gonna start this off with, and probably end it with it because we're already at 4 minutes. This is just a story about my life, folks. Hopefully, it makes you laugh because we know you don't want to be serious. So, anyway, this year in December, me and my wife will be celebrating our 30th year wedding anniversary. 30 years. Now, when me and my wife, we were good friends before we ever got together. We were best friends before we ever got together. But we were once we met each other and we became friends. I was even married to another woman and she was with another guy. She was never married. I was married. but we were friends, and we became good friends. And then after my first wife divorced the hell out of me up in Wyoming, uh, and I went back to Arizona, me and my best friend just we started hanging out. It wasn't even like we were dating or anything, folks. We just hung out together. And yeah, we go out and eat, and we go out to we get a babysitter, and we go out and dance and stuff. Or well, we didn't do a lot of dancing, um, but we would go out and enjoy ourselves. We didn't do a lot of dancing, but we did dance. I did dance a lot when I was younger, but that was back in the disco days, folks. Uh, Also danced on skates when I was younger too, folks. But anyway, those are other stories. I'm not even talking about that story. Anyway, me and my wife, we were already living together. Been living together for 3 or 4 years, and finally, I popped a question to make it. I wanted it. She wanted it. We talked about it, and so I popped a question. Now we decided, to hell with trying to get my family and her, what was left of her family, and get just hell with it. We went out and we got married to Justice of the Peace. There was only two witnesses. My brother was my witness, and my wife had a friend of hers that was a witness. But we got married, and before we got married, I told my wife, look, I have a hard time with even birth dates. The only one I ever remember is my own. Now, I remember my wife's. And I'd love to tell you I remember my kids, but I can't. But I do remember my wife's. And my wife's birthday. And, but anyway, I told my wife, I said, listen, if you want me to be able to remember our wedding anniversary every year without fail, then the only thing I can tell you is we do it on a date that cannot be questioned. And so I told her we'll get married on January 1st, first day of the year. I can never say I forgot. And that was the plan, folks. That was the plan. We were going to get married on the first day of the year. And that was by my wishes and my wishes only. But to keep it so I never forgot the anniversary. Well, at that time was when I had my own house painting business. Now I had a guy that handled my tax papers and stuff for my business. This was before I got married, folks. I had a guy that handled my business, taxes and stuff. So I went in and I was telling him, I said, man, I'm going to be getting married January 1st. Now, this is tax year of the year before. I was getting my taxes, going in and getting my taxes done. We had done talked about getting married on January 1st, me and my wife. And I tell my tax guy that. I said, yeah, I'm getting married, man. I'm going January 1st. He's going, you're getting married? And I said, yeah. And he goes, to who? He was asking me to who. And I was telling him about my wife and how she has 2 stepchildren, a boy and a girl, and everything. He didn't know none of that. We weren't friends. He just did my taxes and stuff. And so I was telling him about this, and he goes, and why are you guys getting married on January 1st? And I said, that's because of my lack of being able to lock down dates. I can do names and faces and a lot of memory, but dates just kill me. So I told him, we're going to get married on the first day of the year. Now, this guy, he's thinking. He was a thinker. He was a critical thinker, and he had some common sense. And he looked at me. He said, ma'am, if I could change your mind on getting married on the first day of the year to get married on the last day of the year, he goes, man, I can claim her kids and her on your taxes. And I can save you a ton of money. I said, what? And he goes, man, if you just change the date of getting married from the day you're talking about, just a day earlier, and instead of on the first day of the year, do it on the last day of the year, get married on the last day of the year, and I can claim them guys, all three of them, for the whole year. Now, we were all living together anyway. Been living together for 3 or 4 years already. But I wasn't claiming them. She was claiming them and getting a little bit. But if I could claim them all three, I could save a lot. Do you see where this is going, folks? I took this information and went back to my wife. It wasn't my wife yet, but chances were this might put the big old kibosh on being my wife all the way around. So I took my tax papers and showed her, I laid it out for her and showed her, hey, if we get married one day sooner, it will save, or we will make this amount of money. If we get married on the first day of the year, we won't. My wife tells people today that I married her for a tax write-off. She's been telling that all along. And legally, she could be right. But in God's eyes, she was my soulmate. And she knows, we both know, God put us together. There wasn't no way. She come from back in the woods of freaking northern Colorado, rancher. I come from the city, Indianapolis, Indiana. How we got together in Arizona was just beyond me in the first place. But that's truth, folks. I live with that every anniversary. I get told it was a marriage of tax reasons. And I'll never live it down. She won't ever let me live it down. And it was my tax preparer's fault. But she got to spend the money too, so. Now, let's see how much time we got left here. I can't see that damn thing. Might tell you another. 13? No, you guys can't handle another one now. I'd like to tell you guys, and I promised you I will, tell you about the sunburnt in Mexico. You guys ain't gonna believe that story. That trip ended up being several trips that I went to. And there's also another story that involves us catching a shark and me standing on a windshield of a boat. We'll have to leave those for you to think about and ponder, folks, because you don't want to hear about the truth. You don't want to hear about what you're being lied to about. I'd rather tell you guys those things. I'd much rather tell you about Jesus I'd much rather tell you about what he's done for me. But you people don't want to hear that. So I'll just tell you entertaining things. I don't know. Did you guys think this was entertaining? If not, just don't say nothing in the comments. Don't thumbs up. Don't share. Don't do anything. And I'll take it as you loved it. As you loved it. Now, if you comment, if you tell me you hated it, I'll quit doing it. But if you don't comment, don't thumbs down, thumbs up, whatever, don't share it, I'll just take it as you loved it, and I'm going to keep doing those same things. Capiche? Did I say it right? I'm trying to sound tough. I don't even have tough in me anymore, people. That's been beaten out of me. People, just make no mistake. God loves you. And so do I. I would not do what I do if I wasn't worried about each and every one of you and where you're going, what's happening in your lives. People, I just drove in before I parked my Jeep in this garage just a few minutes ago. I passed, there's a funeral home down at the end of my road. That I haven't seen a funeral going on in that place since I moved in here 2.5 years ago. Now, that don't mean nothing. I've been gone for long periods of times. But I had never seen no cars parked in that parking lot until tonight. Just 15, 20 minutes ago. Maybe 30, according to this clock on this video. But I drove by there and I automatically just start praying for the people that are there. You can't, the person that's in the casket that died, there's no more praying for them. They're done. The run's over. Whatever they did, that was it. They're done. The only people left to pray for are the ones that are left behind. And I shot a prayer to Jesus, please, whatever these people are going through, if it's hard times for them because they can't deal with this problem, this death, please give them the strength to deal with it. Please give them the guidance to find you. In your name I pray, amen. It's that quick as I'm driving by, folks. This is what we all need to do. Power and prayer, you will not understand till you get in it. God loves you, folks. So do I. Please find Jesus. And if you need the address, I got it. Ask me for it. I'll tell you where he's at. He'll answer the door. All you got to do is knock on it. I love you guys. Seriously.